I step into the apartment, exhausted, and immediately sense something's off. The lights are dimmed, there's an odd, musky scent in the air, and my alien roommate, who usually sits in perfect, statuesque stillness, paces the living room like a caged animal. "Are you good?" I ask. She whips around. Her pupils are blown wide, her skin has a strange sheen to it, and oh great, she's breathing way too heavily. "I am not good," she says, voice strained. "My reproductive cycle has activated." I stare. "You're what now?" She clenches her fists, nostrils flaring. "It is an involuntary biological imperative. It only occurs once in a lifetime." "Cool. So what does that mean exactly?" She stalks toward me. "It means I must mate." I immediately take a step back. "Okay, first of all, tone it down. Second of all, what does that have to do with me? You are the only available human male in my vicinity." I blink, then blink again. "That sounds like a you problem." Her pupils contract slightly. "It is also now a you problem." I groan, rubbing my face. "Listen, this is not happening. We're roommates. You don't just, decide today's the day you want to jump me and expect me to be cool with it." She tilts her head. "Is that not how human courtship works?" I let out a deep sigh. "No, absolutely not." She takes another step forward. I take another step back. "But humans are sexually active creatures, are they not?" She presses. "Unlike my kind, you do not require a seasonal trigger. Your species is constantly ready to mate. Statistically, you should be in favor of this arrangement." I scoff. "Oh, sure. Just statistically force me into bed. Why don't you?" Her expression doesn't change. "Would that be effective?" I rub my temples. "This is not happening." "Why not?" "Because," I gesture wildly, "I'm not gonna be roommates with benefits with an emotionally detached alien who sees me as nothing more than a reproductive opportunity." She frowns. "Would it help if I became emotionally attached?" "That is so not the point here." Her eyes narrow. "I do not understand human resistance to pleasure." I pinch the bridge of my nose. "Yeah, well, welcome to Earth." I barely survive the first night. I wake up feeling too warm, and the instant I open my eyes, I realize why. There's a very non-human presence in my bed. I jolt upright. "What the hell?" She blinks at me. "Your body temperature is ideal. I calculated that physical proximity might accelerate the acceptance of my mating request." I stare at her, horrified. "You broke into my bed to raise my body heat like a damn incubator?" She tilts her head. "Your phrasing is odd, but the sentiment is correct." I groan, yanking my blanket around me like a shield. "Okay, ground rules. You stay on your side of the apartment. No sneaking into my bed." Her pupils dilate slightly. "If I request permission, would that change the outcome?" I groan louder. Things only get worse when we go out in public. At the grocery store, I think, for one stupid second, that she'll behave. But no. Of course not. We're in the frozen food aisle when she suddenly picks up a pack of steaks, turns to me, and loudly asks, "Is this optimal for post-reproductive nourishment?" I freeze. "What?" She weighs the package. "Human males require sustenance post-coitus. Would this be acceptable, or do you require additional protein?" I nearly choke. An old lady behind us does choke. "Okay, nope, putting that back." I grab the steaks and shove them onto the shelf. "We're done. We are leaving. But I must ensure my mate's nutritional." I grab her wrist and drag her out before I get arrested. The next day, I try to be normal. Try to get some work done. But no. Because I'm standing in line at a coffee shop when suddenly a very firm grip latches onto my forearm. I turn my head slowly. What now? She examines my wrist with deep concentration. This grip strength is acceptable, she mutters to herself. You may now proceed with insemination. A woman in front of us gasps, so hard she almost swallows her own tongue. I swear to God, I feel every soul in the cafe turn to stare at me. I force a smile. She's joking. Ha ha. Alien humor. We love that. She tilts her head. I was not joking. I sprint out of the cafe before I die of humiliation. I call my friend for help. He listens. Then the bastard laughs. Dude, he wheezes, you're telling me you live with a hot alien who's literally throwing herself at you, and you're turning her down? Are you dumb? I scoff. Are you missing the part where she's treating me like a breeding horse? Okay, first of all, lucky. Second of all, lucky. Third of all, you're a dumbass. I groan. Oh great, you're no help. Help? Bro, I'm about to switch places with you. I hang up immediately. The breaking point happens that night. I step out of the shower, toweling my hair, utterly exhausted from a day of dodging alien advances. And then, the scent hits me. Not just any scent. Her scent. I whip around, towel barely clinging to my waist. She stands in the hallway, eyes blazing, chest heaving, every muscle in her body tensed like a predator in the dark. Oh! Oh no! I back up. She follows. Okay, I say calmly. I'm just gonna go to bed. She doesn't blink. I do not think you will. Sweat prickles my skin. I think I will. Her pupils contract. Your scent is strong. I take one slow step back. Strong? I repeat. She breathes in, shuddering. Like ripe fruit. Ready for consumption. Oh. Oh, holy hell. Okay, time out. I blurt, throwing my hands up. You need to calm down. Deep breaths. Find your center. Her jaw tightens. I am past the point of centering myself. Cool. Coco cool. I swallow hard. Then, I'm just gonna lock myself in my room. I dash into my bedroom, slam the door shut, and lock it in record time. There's a long pause. Then, she knocks. Let me in. I press my back against the door. No. Another knock. I will not harm you. Uh-huh. Tell that to my sudden life expectancy drop. Silence. Then, in a deadpan voice, she says, I can still smell you through the door. I shudder violently. This is my nightmare, I whisper to myself. She taps the door again. I am very patient. I groan into my hands. I just have to survive one damn week. Right? Right? I wake up to the sound of something moving outside my door. Soft, deliberate, like a predator circling its prey. I don't move. Don't breathe. Maybe if I pretend I'm still asleep, she'll leave. Then, the door handle rattles. I jolt upright. Nope. Absolutely not. There's a pause. Then, her voice, low measured. I was testing the lock. Yeah? And guess what? It works. Silence. Then, quietly. You cannot hide forever. I flop back down with a groan. Watch me. She doesn't leave. Just stands there. Waiting. I'm starting to think I'm gonna die of stress before she even lays a hand on me. I try to ignore her. Doesn't work. She follows me around the apartment silently, watching, calculating. Every time I glance at her, she tilts her head like she's studying a lab specimen. It's deeply unsettling. At one point, I crack. Can you not look at me like that? She blinks. Like what? Like you're mentally dissecting me. She considers this. I am analyzing your reproductive fitness. I choke on my coffee. She nods, as if confirming something. Good lung capacity. I slam my mug down. Stop evaluating me like I'm a damn prize bull. She doesn't look remotely apologetic. Would you prefer a different species standard of assessment? I groan, dragging a hand down my face. I leave the apartment to get some damn space. When I come back, I find her sitting on the couch, arms folded, eyes narrowed. I pause. What? You smell different. I blink. Excuse me? She rises slowly, gaze sharpening. You interacted with another female. I stiffen. Okay, first of all, not your business. Second of all, what the hell do you mean I smell different? She steps closer. I step back. You carry the scent of another woman. Her pupils contract. I do not like it. My stomach drops. Oh, hell no. I hold up my hands. You are not gonna do the whole jealous alien thing right now. She tilts her head. You are my mate. My eye twitches. No, I am not. You will be. No, I will not. Her nostrils flare slightly. We will see. I swear on everything holy. She says it like a damn threat. I start sleeping with furniture barricading my door. Doesn't help. I wake up to her voice right outside. Your biological resistance is impressive. I bury my face into my pillow. Go. Away. She doesn't. This level of restraint is rare in human males. She continues. It suggests discipline. Possibly heightened stamina. I groan into the mattress. I hate my life. She pauses. Then, thoughtfully, do you? I blink. What? She exhales slowly. You reject my advances with great effort. Yet you do not leave. You could have requested a transfer. Could have avoided me. But you did not. I stare at the ceiling. You want to resist, she says quietly, but you also want to stay. Something in my chest tightens. I roll onto my side, away from the door. Go to bed. There's a long pause. Then, so soft I almost don't hear it. Good night, human. The next day, she's different. Still watches me. Still lingers. But less predator, more something else. I don't know what to do with it. By noon I crack. What's your deal? She tilts her head. Clarify. You're acting weird. A beat. Then, I am attempting to understand you. I blink. You what? She shifts slightly. Mating in my species is not about sentiment. It is necessity. But humans, she exhales. You value connection. I swallow. You could have left, she says. Could have avoided this entirely. But you stayed. Despite your protests, you remain. I shift uncomfortably. It's my damn apartment too. Yes. But that is not why you stay. I grit my teeth. Drop it. She studies me. Then, softly, I will not force you. I go still. My chest tightens. She steps back. When you are ready, her gaze lingers. If you are ready, then and only then. I don't know what to say. For the first time since this nightmare began, I don't have a snarky response. She leaves. And I hate how much I miss her presence. I expect her to back off completely. She doesn't. She is still there, watching, observing, but the intensity is gone. She asks questions. Real questions. About me. Why do you refuse? She asks one night. I pause. Because I'm not an animal. She frowns. Neither am I. I sigh. That's not what I meant. I don't want it to be just that. She tilts her head. Then what do you want? I don't answer. Because I don't know. She watches me. Then, softly, you fear it will mean nothing. I exhale sharply. I don't do meaningless. Silence. Then, neither do I. I look at her. Really look at her. Her expression is unreadable. And for the first time since this all started, I think, maybe, just maybe, this isn't just biology. I start noticing things. The way her eyes linger on me when she thinks I'm not looking. The way she leans in when we talk, just slightly. The way she seems to memorize everything I say. One night, I find her staring at the stars. I step beside her. What are you thinking about? She doesn't look at me. My people do not experience desire as you do. I exhale. Yeah, I got that memo. She hesitates. But I find myself wanting. Wanting what? I ask. She finally meets my gaze. And I know. I swallow hard. My pulse pounds in my ears. She steps closer. Tell me to stop, she whispers. I don't. Her fingers brush mine. I should pull away. I should. But I don't. Because for the first time in my life, I don't want to. I don't sleep. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, my body wired, tense, restless. I can still feel the ghost of her touch on my fingers. Barely there. But enough. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. For weeks, I've been fighting it, her, this, us. But the way she looked at me tonight, like she wasn't just seeing me as a biological necessity, but as something more. It's messing with my head. It's messing with everything. I wake up groggy, my body heavy with exhaustion. I stumble into the kitchen, rubbing my face, and freeze. She's there. Cooking. I blink. Once. Twice. I must still be dreaming. You're making breakfast? My voice comes out hoarse. She glances over her shoulder. I have been researching human bonding rituals. I swallow. And you decided cooking was the way to go? She turns back to the stove. Many human courtship patterns involve the offering of food. A beat. It is also a display of care. My chest tightens. I watch as she carefully plates everything, eggs, toast, even bacon. She sets the plate in front of me, expectant. I sit down slowly, staring at it. She sits across from me, watching, waiting. The silence stretches. I clear my throat. You didn't poison this, right? Her eyes narrow. If I intended to kill you, I would do so directly. I snort. Reassuring. She tilts her head. I find sarcasm to be a defense mechanism. I stiffen. And I find this whole situation to be wildly inappropriate for deep psychoanalysis. She just watches me. Unwavering. I sigh, pick up my fork, and take a bite. She leans forward. And? I chew slowly. Swallow. It's actually good. Her shoulders relax. And something in me does too. I keep waiting for her to push again. To corner me, to trap me, to get back to her usual relentless tactics. But she doesn't. Instead, she asks questions. Not about my reproductive capabilities. Not about my fitness. But about me. What was your childhood like? What do you fear the most? What makes you happy? And I answer. At first, reluctantly. But then, more. I tell her about my dumb childhood dreams. About the time I broke my arm trying to impress a girl. I tell her about my dad, who never really understood me, and my mom, who tried but was never really there. And she listens. Really listens. She doesn't mock. Doesn't judge. She just absorbs it. Like it's the most important thing in the world. One night, we're sitting on the couch, and she leans into me. Not aggressively. Not demanding. Just there. I tense for half a second. Then, I let it happen. Her warmth seeps into my side. It should be weird. But it's not. Not anymore. Her voice is quiet when she speaks. I have never wanted anything before. I glance at her. What changed? She exhales. You? My breath catches. She looks up, meets my gaze. It is not just instinct. I swallow. Then what is it? She tilts her head slightly. I do not know. A pause. But I want to find out. And God help me, so do I. I think about it for days. About her. About us. About what it would mean if I stopped fighting it. I catch her watching me sometimes, not like before, not with calculated intent. Just watching. Like she's waiting. Not pushing. Not demanding. Just waiting. And it's that, the waiting, that finally gets me. Because she could push. Could press. Could take. But she doesn't. And that makes me want her more. I find her in her room, sitting by the window. I stand there for a long moment, unsure, nervous, hesitant. Then, before I can talk myself out of it, I step forward. She turns, eyes steady, questioning. I inhale deeply. I don't want to be a mistake. She frowns slightly. You are not. I run a hand through my hair. I don't do casual. I don't do meaningless. She watches me. Neither do I. I swallow hard. Then we do this right. A long pause. Then, softly. Yes. Something inside me unclenches. She reaches out, fingertips grazing mine. And this time, I don't pull away. I don't know when it happened. I don't know how it happened. But somehow, somewhere along the way, I stopped thinking of her as my alien roommate and started thinking of her as mine. Her touch is hesitant at first. A whisper against my skin, a question unspoken. I could still back out. I could still walk away. But I don't. I let my fingers slide over hers, feeling the warmth of her skin, the steady pulse beneath. There's something different in her touch now, less about need, more about want. And I want too. Her eyes search mine, waiting. No demand, no force. Just an invitation. I take it. The first kiss is almost cautious, both of us careful, uncertain. She tastes different, her skin warmer than I expect. But she melts into me, lips parting just slightly, enough for me to deepen it. Her hands tremble against my chest, and I realize she's nervous. I smile against her lips. First time kissing a human? She exhales, a sound almost like a laugh. First time kissing. Something tightens in my chest. I press my forehead to hers, breathing her in. We don't have to rush. Her grip tightens. I do not wish to stop. Neither do I. I pull her closer, feeling the heat of her body against mine. She's learning fast, mirroring my movements, the soft press of her mouth turning urgent. There's fire now. I let my hands wander, mapping out the curve of her waist, the arch of her back. She shivers under my touch, responsive, eager. Her breath hitches. Strange. I pull back slightly. What is? Her gaze is heated, dark. This need, it is more than instinct. I swallow hard. Yeah, it is. Her lips part like she wants to say something more, but I don't let her. I kiss her again, harder this time. She moans into my mouth, fingers tangling in my hair, pulling me closer. God, she's strong. She presses against me, and suddenly I'm the one stumbling back. I laugh, breathless. Easy there, big girl. Her pupils dilate. I do not feel like being easy. Heat coils in my gut. Yeah. She grabs my wrist, leading my hand down, letting me feel just how much she wants this. My throat goes dry. Holy shit. She smirks. You are speechless. I shake my head, swallowing. Damn, you don't do anything halfway, do you? Her grip tightens. Should I? My pulse is pounding. No. Never. I don't let her ask again. I take control. I flip our positions, pressing her back against the bed. Her eyes widen, breath catching. Trust me? I murmur against her skin. She shudders. Yes. I don't waste another second. The world narrows to this. To us. Every touch, every sound, every gasp and whisper, it's overwhelming. I've never had anything like this before. It's not just sex. Not just release. It's something deeper. Something that wraps around my chest and won't let go. She clings to me, nails digging into my skin, body trembling beneath mine. And I love it. I love her. She doesn't just take. She gives. And I give back, over and over, until we're both shaking, breathless, spent. I press my forehead against hers, still catching my breath. She exhales slowly. That was unexpected. I huff out a laugh. In a good way, I hope. Her lips curl. A very good way. I brush my fingers over her face, memorizing the way she looks right now, flushed, satisfied, glowing. Something shifts in her gaze. Something softer, something raw. She opens her mouth, then hesitates. I nudge her gently. What? Her fingers trace lazy circles on my back. I was wrong before. I tilt my head. About? She meets my eyes. This is not just mating. My chest tightens. No, it's not. A long pause. Then, softly, carefully. I think I love you. My heart stops. She watches me, waiting, anxious for the first time since I've known her. I cup her face, brushing my thumb over her cheek. Good. She blinks. Good? I kiss her, slow, deep, sure. When I pull back, I whisper against her lips. Because I love you too. Her breath shudders. She pulls me close again, wrapping around me like she's afraid to let go. And I let her. Because I'm not letting go either. We're different. We come from different worlds, different biology, different everything. But none of that matters. She's mine. And I'm hers.